Good morning and welcome to Adventure Planet, where today I'm back here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, an amusement park that opened all the way back in 1896 and actually holds a number of records, including the tallest coaster in the UK, for now at any rate. It sits on 42 acres of land here in Blackpool's South Shore and actually features 10 roller coasters, 4 of which are wooden coasters, which is the most amount of woodies you will find at any park anywhere in the UK. Now we're going to head on in here today, take a look around the park for 2023, enjoy a ride on the Big Dipper, which is celebrating its 100th birthday this year, and we'll also check out the new gift shop that's recently opened and looks quite sizable, so we'll be checking that out a little bit later on in the vlog as well. So come with me as we get back on some of my favorites here, check out some of those queue times and enjoy a full day here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Park hours today are 10 AM through until 6 PM. Let's head on in. Oh, and there goes the big one. As I said in the intro, at the moment, still the tallest coaster in the UK at 213 feet. Oh, it's great to be back at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It's a Saturday today, so not sure on crowd levels. Could end up being quite busy a little bit later on. For now though, it's not too bad at all. Valhalla off to the left there, you've got the flying machines. Ah, it's great to be back. Of course, Blackpool Pleasure Beach is one of the parks that really is quite a long distance from where I'm based. It's a good 4 hours. So I don't come here as often as I would like. But it's a great amusement park, this. Really, really nice. Can't wait to get back on the big one. Of course, we've got Icon here as well. And some classic wooden coasters, like of course the Big Dipper, celebrating its 100th birthday this year. Of course, we got Grand National here as well, Nickelodeon Streak, Avalanche, Revolution, and we're going to try and get on as many of them today as we can. Derby Racer just in front. And we'll try and get on Valhalla today as well. Of course, recently reopened. Waterfall's looking great. And that is a solid 9 out of 10 soaker, that one. You're certainly looking along the same lines as Stormforce 10 at Drayton Manor and Drenched at Oakwood. It is an absolute soaker, that one. But one of the best water rides in the world. Not the UK, not in Europe, in the world. Opens today at 11 AM, closes at 6. And of course we've got Ice Blast here as well, an SNS shot tower, 180 feet, opened back in 1997. It was originally called the Sony PlayStation. I remember when this first opened. Everyone wanted to get on the PlayStation ride. Yeah, not a bad shot tower, this. Some good force to it. And that's right opposite the flying machines. Oh, what a classic. Opened in 1904. And is the longest continuously operating ride in all of Europe. Some great history associated with this. And we've got Alice in Wonderland here. Great little photo op there. September 16th, 2023. This opened back in 1962. Great little track dark ride, this. And of course, we will try and do the flat rides. I can take you on these ones, but I do want to prioritize the coasters today. Hey. Great theming around here. And of course, Blackpool Pleasure Beach hosts its very own Halloween event, Journey to Hell Freak Nights, which is absolutely fantastic. 27 days, 8 hours, 52 minutes. Not quite sure what's gone on with the spelling mistake here there. Unitil. Not quite sure how that's got overlooked. But yeah, absolutely fantastic event there. Not one that I usually attend due to the distance this park is from where I'm based, but it is one that I would love to do at some point in the future. And there is one of the scare mazes right opposite here. The freaky clown, that is the freak house. Yes, one scary looking clown. You got the arcade just off to the right as well. Kentucky Derby a little bit further down. And you got all your eateries around here as well. Oh, the big one looks so impressive. And of course, the Big Dipper just through there as well. The Onion's back on. All nicely refurbished. We'll be getting on that at some point today. Let's go and head on our first ride. And here's a quick look at the river caves then, the Tunnel of Love. Mist effects working. Water wheel looking good. Nice little scenic boat ride this. Opened back in 1905. And you know what? As much as my mind is telling me no, I think it's time to get on Infusion as the first ride of the day to get all those headaches out of the way. Now, this opened back in 2007. And it is a headbanger, this. 5 inversions. Hey. Used to operate as Traumatizer at Southport Pleasureland. Obviously that's now closed. And then it was brought here to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Actually replaced the Drench Falls log flume. That is the first coaster in the world to be suspended entirely over water. But it is a headbanger, this. It's a Vekoma SLC. But I think if we get on this, get it out of the way first, I can pop some headache tablets and be okay for the rest of the day. Walk onto Infusion then. Oh, what a headbanger. Great ride though. Old school Vekoma SLC. Hey. And just come off my ride on Infusion then, and you know what, actually, to be fair, today it actually wasn't riding too bad. Yes, it's still rough and ready, yes, it is still a headbanger, and yeah, if it's the first time that you've been on that and you're not quite sure of the layout, you could come off with some red ears, because your head does get shaken from side to side if you don't know where the ride is going and you don't really brace yourself properly. However, you know, the only coaster in the world that's suspended entirely over water, it is a ride that has to be done every time you do come to Pleasure Beach, even if that is only just the once a year. Yeah, still a good ride, enjoy it. And I do absolutely love this model they've got here of Infusion. Would love this in my bedroom. Yeah, this kind of corkscrew section here is probably the roughest part of the ride in my opinion. But yeah, this looks great. And straight off of Infusion then, and it would be remiss to not go on the Big Dipper, the coaster here, celebrating its 100th birthday, opened all the way back in 1923. Yeah, it's been repainted and refurbished as part of its 100th anniversary. Years ago, it actually replaced the old switchback railway here. Absolutely fantastic ride. Again, pretty rough. PTC trains, about 60 feet in height. Great to see the Onion all nicely refurbished and back on top. Let's head on to the first of today's wooden coasters. Oh, and this all looks fantastic in here. All the refurb, the repaint. Absolutely fantastic. Looks awesome. Yeah, done a really good job with this. Can't wait to get back on. 100 years. Brace yourself. It's the Big Dipper.
The Big Dipper. Please secure all
And waited about 15 minutes for my ride on the Big Dipper then. Happy 100th birthday. Getting back onto the Big Dipper, such a classic ride that, and yet it is still rough into those corners, and if you've got anything in your pockets like keys and such, a little pop of ejector airtime there can damage your legs a little bit if you're not careful. But yeah, that slow climb up the lift hill, the onion on the top there, looking absolutely fantastic. Really happy that I got back to Blackpool Pleasure Beach to ride that for its celebratory 100th anniversary. And the good thing about Blackpool Pleasure Beach as well is you literally come off one ride and you're straight onto another. In terms of ride space, it's one of the most densely populated amusement parks in the world, which is absolutely fantastic. Straight off a Big Dipper, straight onto this piece behind me, the Mack Rides launch coaster Icon. 2 launches on this, 1 inversion, speeds of about 52 miles an hour. It's one of the best coasters in the UK, this. Looking forward to getting back on. And just had my ride on Icon then, and I gotta say that today was riding phenomenally well. And look, for people that have watched my vlogs for a while now, you'll know that the Swarm at Thorpe Park is my favorite coaster in the UK. However, the way that was riding today, I think that eclipses it. I do love a good B&M wing coaster, but this ride, oh, it is absolutely fantastic. From the elements on there, the S-bend, the pops of airtime, the inline twist, obviously with the lap bar, makes you feel like you're falling out of your seat. Yeah, the two inversions, officially 1, depends what you really count. The double launch on there, which is a first for the UK, and even the soundtrack, the theming in the station, it really is almost perfect. Absolutely fantastic, and I think after that ride today, that is eclipsing the Swarm at Thorpe Park. We'll get as many rides on that today as I can. Anyway, for the next ride though, we're going to ride something a lot more intense. It's Revolution. And from Icon to Revolution then, the 1979 Aerodynamics Shuttle Loop coaster. Yeah, it is an intense one this, and holds another record for Blackpool Pleasure Beach, being the first fully inverting steel coaster in Europe. Yeah, nice and intense, and the queue line is pretty high as well, so if you're not a big fan of heights, you might want to give this one a miss. And worth pointing out, and something that I'm not a fan of that they're doing at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, at least today, are the staggered opening times. Yeah, park opens at 10, but only a couple of the rides actually opened at that time. Some start at 10:30, while others start at 11, and it's also a staggered close as well. This Revolution is open until 6, but there are some rides that shut at 5. So saying park hours are 10 till 6 is a little bit misleading when it comes to the rides themselves. So do just be wary of that if you are visiting the park. And waited about 20 minutes then for my ride on Revolution, and yeah, that is definitely one of the most intense rides here at the park, especially coming backwards through that loop. You really do feel it. So if you're not a fan of intense rides, perhaps give Revolution a miss. However, behind me, Steeplechase, 3 separate credits for that ride, 3 separate rails, opened back in 1977 by Red Rum, the racehorse. However, before we go on that, we're going to check out the tallest coaster in the UK. It's the big one. And yeah, the queue time for the big one looking pretty good actually, and it's great to see that the big Pepsi Max cans are still here. Of course, from 1994 when the ride opened up to 2011, it was actually sponsored by Pepsi Max, and they've kept the cans in place, which is cool. There you go, that huge lift hill, 235 feet high from sea level, but the coaster itself, 213 feet. And there she goes. Was the tallest roller coaster in the world when it opened. And it has been getting retracked since 2019 by Tazica, same company that's actually doing Colossus at Thorpe Park. Love the signage. Let's get on. Oh yeah, this is a very quick queue. We'll be on here in no time. 205-foot drop on this one, 74 miles an hour. And like I say, opened in 1994. Now, when I first visited Pleasure Beach for the first time in 1994, this ride was closed due to, I believe, a small collision they had between two trains on the brake run. So I didn't actually get to ride it in its opening year. Well, it's time to get back on in 2023. And waited just 10 minutes for a ride on the big one. Nice and quiet here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach today. Down towards the back. Oh, great ride this. That first drop is phenomenal. And just had my ride on the big one then. Yeah, waited just 10 minutes in the actual queue line. However, then sat in the train and the ride went down due to an unforeseen technical issue for almost 15 minutes. So yeah, took a little bit longer, that one. In terms of the ride itself, oof, yeah, that ride's just like a 1994 coaster. And hey, there goes Icon. Yeah, it's not a smooth ride, that. The retract sections, yeah, you can definitely feel the kind of transition between those different pieces of track, the old with the new, definitely offers a smoother experience. However, yeah, the rest of that ride really does need doing, especially the first drop. There was a considerable jolt on the first drop, just going over that crest, which really does need looking at. Still a fantastic ride though. The first drop is great, gives some amazing views over Blackpool and obviously the south coast as well. The rest of the ride though, yeah, it's not too bad. There's not really much to it after that first drop though. Keeps up its pace pretty well, but yeah, in terms of elements, nothing really too special. Steeplechase is the next coaster we're getting on here. 3 credits to get on this one, 3 different rails. Let's jump on the first yellow rail. And I've just had my ride on Steeplechase then, got on the yellow rail. That's a nice photo opportunity there, right next to Ghost Train. Yeah, the facade for this is fantastic. Looks great. Is it a coaster cred? It's a good Ghost Train, this. But yeah, in terms of Steeplechase, it's a great fun ride, but you do have to nurse your back a little bit for that ride. There's 2 points, left and right side of your lower back, where the seat really does tend to ram into it during those corners. So if you do suffer with a bad back, it might not be the best ride to go on. And the throughput, obviously, by the type of ride that it is quite slow. Queued for 25 minutes. And of course, if you do want to get all 3 creds on that, it could end up taking up quite a bit of time throughout your day. Beautiful day here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach though. About 17 degrees C, broken clouds. Really has been a great day. I'm just making my way back down towards the entrance of the park now then. We're going to have a little look inside the new gift shop before coming back in the park and getting back onto Avalanche. Want to try and get all 10 coasters done today. Try and squeeze a few flats in if I can. Obviously the Hot Ice show we have just missed. That actually finished a couple of weeks ago, so we're not going to be able to see that on this trip, which is a little bit of a shame. Currently running Amore. And of course Ice Blast there as well. And Valhalla. And of course Derby Racer here as well. One of only 3 in the world. school organ sounds fantastic. All of these horses are all hand painted here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach as well. Looks great. And we're back outside the park now then to check out the newly opened Pleasure Beach store. Yeah, not been in this so far, and I've heard good things about this, so let's check out the merchandise that you can find right here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And here we go inside the store then, and yeah, look at this. This is a huge store, wow. All the merch for all the different rides here. Big one, Blackpool Pleasure Beach t-shirt, yeah, nice. Not quite sure about that though. I'm not sure if that's quite right. I don't think it's that fast. Some big one caps there. And your sweets. There's your little Valhalla section. Oh, I do like that. Double-handed mug there. $12.95. That's actually not too bad. Your water bottles down there as well. Snow globes. That's pretty cool. Old Valhalla boat. Yeah, that's great. Some more Valhalla merch there as well. Your icon stuff here. Love the Ghost Train hoodie, that's cool. Some more Valhalla bits and pieces here as well. That's nice. $24.95. Quite like that. Look nice in the living room. Yeah, get ready for Christmas with your little glass baubles. Love all these models here at the top. That's great. These little miniature models here. Your icon mugs. There he is, the old ninja. More water bottles there. Real sizable store. Your icon caps here as well. Your icon hoodies. Yeah, these are quite nice. I've already got the black and red icon zip hoodie though, so I won't get another one. And you got some t-shirts here with the basic kind of icon logo on there. Grey and black. That one's got it in gold, which is quite nice. And they're $14.95, $19.95 for the black one. Your Pleasure Beach merch here as well, your mugs, again water bottles, these are nice as well, quite like these. Little coat hangers there. Not sure how much they are, $14.95. Your notebooks. Your bags and such at the top here, the teddies. Yeah, I like the Pleasure Beach one as well, that's pretty cool. More mugs and pens. And there he is, Mr. Funshine himself. He was actually retired quite a while ago, but they still use him. There's some of your prices for the Funshine merch. And then you've got your Big Dipper merch here, celebrating the 100 years. 1923. Yeah, these are all very nice. Love this. Some historical pictures there as well. And some of the prices for the Big Dipper merch. I'll say I love this mug. Wow, I could spend a fortune in here. Absolute fortune. Here we are with the Wallace and Gromit merch. Only Wallace and Gromit ride in the UK. There's chicken. Yeah, he's great. The size of this mug here as well. Look at that. Absolutely huge. More water bottles there as well. Love the chicken one, that's cool. There's some more ornaments there from Wallace and Gromit. Some plushies. These are nice as well. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, really nice store, packed to the brim with merchandise for all your different rides, as well as Pleasure Beach itself. This is stunning. Of course, established in 1896. Yeah, that's beautiful. Huge Mr. Funshine mug there. And you've got some hot ice stuff here as well. It's all really nice. Of course, we've just missed out on the hot ice production for this year. Finished a couple of weeks ago, unfortunately. So won't be getting that today. Fantastic shop though, with some really good merch. Impressed. Oh, it's great to see all the mist effects working on Valhalla today. All the mist up the top there. The waterfalls. It really is an immense ride, this. However, I've come back down this way from the gift shop where I could happily spend, where I could happily spend an absolute fortune. However, I just got myself a new kit bag and a new icon mug. Come back into the park now. I'm going to get some food at Lokis Bar. Yeah, beautiful food in this place. And this actually used to be one of the entrance/exits to the old Sky Ride here. You can see it looks very Sky Ride station-ish. Let's get some rotisserie chicken. And in Lokis for my food then. And yeah, look at this. Half a rotisserie chicken with rotisserie potatoes, stuffing, and a large Pepsi Max. This was $15.95. Yeah, looks absolutely great. And if you do come here to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, you could do much worse than have your lunch at Lokis Bar. That rotisserie chicken was absolutely divine. Meat that just kind of fell off the bone. The potatoes that I had there really nicely seasoned with those herbs. The only thing I wouldn't have again would be the stuffing. It was a little bit of a soft texture for my liking, but overall, solid 9 out of 10 and some of the best park food that you'll ever find. Yeah, so if you do come down to BPP, make sure you don't miss out on grabbing some lunch from Lokis Bar. Half rotisserie chicken with rotisserie potatoes and stuffing with a large drink, £15.95, which is not bad at all. Anyway, we'll let that digest a little bit and then we'll head back over to Avalanche. Absolutely love this little track ride. Pleasure Beach racing. With all the classic cars here, it looks great. And of course, many years ago, the Walt Disney Company actually visited Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and this park actually gave them inspiration for one of their very first parks, Disneyland in Anaheim, California. And when you look at rides like this, and of course things like the Alice in Wonderland ride as well, the river caves, you can certainly see where that inspiration came from. Really great stuff. And here we are about to ride the Avalanche then. Opened in 1988. Mack Ride's bobsled coaster. And the only bobsled coaster actually in the UK. It's the Musical Bears. And Revolution. Oh, such an intense ride that. But yeah, we get on the Avalanche. Queue time not too bad by the looks of it. Let's ride the one and only bobsleigh coaster in the UK. Still doesn't look like they finished up the paint job here. They did actually start it, but it looks as though it's still ongoing. Hopefully that gets finished soon. And waited 20 minutes for my ride on Avalanche then, and we got a front row. And just had a front row ride on Avalanche then, after queuing for 20 minutes. And yeah, it's a great ride that. Really does throw you into those last few corners. Would like to see them, like I say, finish off that repaint. It looks like they've probably done about a third of it. And yeah, you really can tell where the paint stops. And yeah, it looks a little bit of a mess. Be nice to see that completed. Look at that thing guy here though. Look at this. He's themed up into Dia de Muertos. And we're heading into Nickelodeon Land now then. This opened back in 2011 and is about a 6-acre site. Used to be known as Beaver Creek. That was before its £10 million re-theme into Nickelodeon Land. Of course, you've got two coasters here, Nickelodeon Streak and the Blue Flyer. Yeah, it's a nice orange theme land this. Have all the flags up here as well. And that just through there is the old Space Invader building, now home to Big Pizza. Yeah, and of course we rode that at Breen Theme Park, where it's now known as Astrostorm. Nice variety of flat rides in this area of the park as well. You got the Nickelodeon shop. Hey. Nice colour scheme, pink and yellow on there. We're going to head over to Nickelodeon Streak though and get a ride on the second of today's wooden coasters. Yeah, really love this area. Got the Krusty Krab there as well, SpongeBob Splash Bash. The snack shacks here. Yeah, usually quite a busy area this as well. Obviously more aimed towards the younger generation. But the theming's fantastic. Bikini Bottom bus tour over there. Hey. Here's the splash paddle. And you've also got Dora's World Voyage over the back as well. There's Blue Flyer. And Nickelodeon Streak just off here to the left. Let's, as always, jump on. And the Nickelodeon Streak then is a wooden family coaster, which actually used to be called Roller Coaster until 2010. Hey. Way before that though, all the way back in 1909 to 1932, the coaster that was here was called the Velvet Coaster. This ride actually uses parts from that, until the rest of that ride was dismantled. Now the Velvet Coaster is actually a restaurant on the outside of the park. And after 35 minutes, we're finally here on the Nickelodeon Streak. Yeah, not the best ops on this one. It running just the one train, but we're here, so let's ride. Now we've got pretty much a walk-on the Blue Flyer. Another little family wooden coaster. Opened in 1934. And just had rides on both Nickelodeon Streak and Blue Flyer then. Yeah, Nickelodeon Streak, very much like a mini Big Dipper really. And then Blue Flyer is kind of a mini Nickelodeon Streak. Both of them fun wooden family coasters, albeit pretty short. And this is Diego's Rainforest Rescue here. Nice and colourful. Yeah, there's a good variety of flat rides here in Nickelodeon Land, including a Zamperla Disco, Avatar Airbender. And just opposite Wallace and Gromit's Thrill-O-Matic ride, you've actually got what remains of the old monorail line here. Yeah, it kind of ends here, but goes all the way down and kind of wraps all the way through Nickelodeon Land, all the way around here. Now, I believe they've left this in purely because if you look underneath here, there's still a lot of wiring that's been left in that line. I believe that powers lots of different things, from lighting to security cameras, CCTV and the like. So I believe they've just decided to leave that in, as it'd probably be quite a big job to rewire everything that this kind of contains here. So yeah, just interesting. I like the historical aspects of parks. And yeah, this line still remains, wrapping all the way around Nickelodeon Land. And I love the facade to Wallace and Gromit. It looks fantastic. This actually opened as the gold mine all the way back in 1971. That's what it was when I visited the park back in 1994. Became Wallace and Gromit in 2013. Now this is a ride that actually closes at 6 p.m, so I will try and get back and ride this. I have been kind of focusing heavily on the coasters today, as it's been a while since I've rode them all. I do want to get them all in, but I will come back and try and ride Wallace and Gromit a little bit later on. Pleasure Beach Radio and Gypsy Sarah Petula Negro? I have no idea. We're going to head over to the Grand National now then, and get the last coaster of the day in. Just 35 minutes left until most of the rides close here at the park at 5 p.m, which, like I say, I don't agree with. It's my opinion that all rides should be open until 6, until park close. Some nice little seating areas off to the left there. Got the Oyster Bar to the right. And Madame Chevette's bar there as well. Did I say Chevette's? Of course I meant crevettes. Oh, the Big Dipper. Absolutely fantastic. Love that ride so much. However, interesting to note that this has actually changed to 6 p.m. This was 5 p.m. earlier today. So maybe they are changing the rides depending on crowd levels. And yeah, it's good to see that a lot of these boards are starting to get updated throughout the day today, obviously dependent on crowd levels, as this also closed at 5, but is now open until 6 o'clock. The Grand National, opened in 1935. Yeah, it's a wooden thrill coaster, Mobius Loop. And yeah, actually this station area here was all destroyed by a fire back in 2004, so all this has been rebuilt. Thankfully the ride wasn't damaged. Love the Grand National. And it's the last coaster of the day. And we've got a walk on the Grand National then. Back row, pray for my back. It can be a rough one, this. Certainly on the back row. But what better way to end the last coaster of the day? And just had my ride on the Grand National then, and look, I want to be really straight with anybody watching this vlog, coaster enthusiasts or not. If you're coming to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, do not do not ride the Grand National on the back row. As a matter of fact, let's just be completely safe and say don't ride Grand National. It is a brutal ride. It really is savage, and I don't say that lightly. It really is a bone shaker, and you know, 90% chance you're getting off that ride injured. Just take it from me, it's not worth getting on that ride for what it is. It's in desperate need of some work. Some of the jolts on there after some of the bunny hills literally felt like I was going to go through the floor of the train. It was that jolty. My spine is now compressed into my skull as far as it will go, and I've got a good chance that I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning with a really bad back. That really was savage. But hey, it was the last coaster of the day. Let's head down to Wallace and Gromit now, and we can take you on for this one. And as mentioned earlier, the Wallace and Gromit ride, before it became that, was the Gold Mine ride. And it's nice to see that they've still got some of the cars here as dedicated planters. Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Gromit, we forgot you at Blackpool.
Hey!
Morning, Gromit. What is today, lad? Tuesday. Is it supposed to do that? Don't worry, madam. Everything's under control. Where'd you get that from? That's my machine. I've got patent pending on that.
What's going on there?
What is going on there? There's chicken.
Oh, that's right enough. You'll be hearing from the solicitor about this. Capable of over 125 RPM. That's rabbits per minute.
You've had a couple of rabbits on them. Toodle straight on over the... Right as that.
Hang in there, Gromit. Everything's under control. Good boy, Gromit, man. Well done. Well, that went as well as could be expected, Gromit, didn't it? Well done.
Please, Gromit.
And there we are. Wallace and Gromit's Thrill-O-Matic. And some on-ride footage there then of Wallace and Gromit's Thrill-O-Matic. And yeah, it's a great ride that. Good to see everything working on there. And like I say, it's the only one of those in the world. So if you want some Wallace and Gromit action, come down to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Great shop as well with all your Wallace and Gromit merchandise. We're going to get one more ride in of the day then. That's going to be the River Caves. And then we'll be wrapping up today's vlog right here from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It's been a great day. Let's head on. Here we are in the Tunnel of Love then. Hey, the River Caves. Oh. Yeah, great ride this. Opened all the way back in 1905. A lot of history associated with this ride. Still looks fantastic as well. All the mist effects in here. Yeah, it's great. Nice, calm and tranquil ride. After a pretty roller coaster heavy day today at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Some great scenes in here. the Valley of the Kings.
These colossal statues are the most spectacular example of the art of ancient Egypt.
Such a great scene in here. The scale in here is pretty impressive. Certainly for a ride this old. It looks great. Hey, here we go. How wet are we going to get? I hope not very. Ah, a light sprinkle. Great ride that. Some great scenes in there. And you don't even get wet. 1 out of 10 soakage. And it is worth noting that the store right under Flying Machines actually stocks a load of authentic ride parts. So if you like to purchase these to put on display around the home, this is the place to shop. Yeah, lots of up-stop wheels, chain dogs, brake fins. It's crazy. Even a piece of the big one track here. Yeah, look at that, £150 for that. Really wish they had done something like this for Nemesis. That would have been great. I would have had myself one of those. Mounted on some kind of plaque would have been fantastic. Yeah, they've obviously got things from existing coasters like the big one, Nickelodeon Streak. There's some parts here as well. But then there's also bits from coasters that no longer exist here, like the Wild Mouse. Ghost Train wheel unit there. Really heavy. Lots of different blocks of wood from the Wild Mouse coaster. So yeah, if you like to geek out on authentic ride parts, this is where you want to come. And if you like your engineering as well, this is where you can also see all the workings for the Flying Machines. Look at that. And with that ride on River Caves, then that brings this vlog to a close. Yeah, the park's closed now. Most of the people that were here have left already. What can I say about the day as a whole? It's been absolutely great to get back to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, get on all of my favorites here, including Icon. I've got to say, I did kind of forget just how good that ride was. It really is something else. Swarm and Icon are still up there for me. However, like I said earlier, that ride today really did just pip the post. Yeah, absolutely fantastic ride. Yeah, the other rides throughout the day, it's been a very roller coaster heavy day. I didn't get very many flat rides done today, but the fact that I got all 10 coasters in was surprising really on a Saturday. Very impressed. But like I said, you know, that's what makes Blackpool Pleasure Beach so good, is that it is so compact. All the rides are right next to each other, and it's great to just hop from one ride to the next. Yeah, it's, you know, the food here today, the rotisserie chicken over at Lokis was absolutely fantastic as well. Absolutely beautiful food, reasonably priced as well. I'm not a fan of the staggered opening times. The closing times were pretty much all updated to 6 p.m. today, which was good to see. Yeah, but the staggered opening times, yeah, not really a fan of that. I think the park opens at 10 o'clock. All your rides should be open at 10 o'clock. This beast behind me was great to get back on Revolution. That was definitely one of the most intense rides here today. However, the worst ride here today by a long shot, and I would say even twice as bad as Infusion has ever been, was Grand National. That rear row on there, is just terrible. Not being funny about it, it is horrendous. There's a lot of work that needs to be done there. Yeah, I'm still actually feeling that now. That did actually take the wind out of my sails a bit for the last hour of the day. It really, really is a savage ride and does need something doing to it. Whether they retrack it, you know, it's not as bad in the front. It's probably bearable in the front, but the back row is just unrideable in my opinion anyway. Yeah, so overall the day has been absolutely fantastic. It's been great to get back here, get back on the big one as well, offering those amazing views over Blackpool and the south shore as well. Absolutely great, as jolty as that ride is as well. You know, once the retrack really kind of takes place and we get some more of those sections done, I'm sure that ride will also be a lot smoother to ride. So yeah, overall really enjoyed my day here. Now if you are coming down to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, there are two hotels you can take advantage of, the Blue Hotel and the Boulevard Hotel, if you do want to come down and do 2 days here. In terms of parking, there's lots of parking around the site, council paid parking, or you can pay £20 for VIP parking on Balmoral Road, which is literally right next to the entrance of the park, so that's worth taking advantage of as well. Really impressed with the new gift shop as well. I have bought a few more things from there off camera, of course. Yeah, it's very easy to spend a fortune in there. There's some things that are very expensive, but it's very nice top quality merch, which is great to see. So yeah, absolutely solid 9 out of 10 today. 9 out of 10 day today. I just need to get back to the hotel now and rest my back a little bit, I think. In terms of the next vlog coming up, however, we are going to be at Lightwater Valley. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been there as well. Obviously the Ultimate has been removed, so we'll be heading over there, giving up all the park updates for 2023, and we can film on ride there on the coasters as well, which is great with the chest mounted GoPro. From Blackpool Pleasure Beach though, I want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy riding everybody. I'll see you at Lightwater Valley.